She is a member of the community, and she's going to be speaking about the personal benefits of education.
Woo! Benefits!
Thank you. I've written my speech because we have 3 minutes. So bear with me. And I usually write because I have a message. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I welcome the opportunity to speak at today's rally and to oppose the insulting and punitive cuts on the UW education system. In addition, I'm proud to stand up for upholding the Wisconsin idea and the belief in the common good. Often I'm reminded of my Albanian immigrant father, who in his teens came to America with hope and a desire for freedom and a better economic life. Remember, he'd say, no one can ever take away your education. Admittedly, while I continue to believe in the American dream, which he achieved, I understand today how this has become more difficult for many. It's impossible to not see that throughout the country, jobs have been taken away. Pensions, if you had one, are increasingly gone. And savings, again, if you have had any, can be wiped out to pay medical bills. And then I return specifically to Governor Walker, by the way. Is he still in London? And his continuous refusal to accept federal funding for Medicaid and deny thousands of people who desperately need medical coverage. Oh, and don't forget senior care, cut 40%, leaving older people, mostly women, with higher costs for medical drugs. Do you want me to even touch on public television and public radio?
Yeah.
With these statements, I find myself on UW Eau Claire's campus with a message I'd like to send to Governor Walker, because evidently we don't seem to have the same values and respect for issues.
Thank God.
Right on. The topic I've written about is the shortest story I've ever written. A tribute to the University of Wisconsin education system, because you provided me a second chance in life. Had it not been for Wisconsin's public educational system, I would not be here today. It was 1969, after years of economic struggle, that I moved to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. My husband at the time, who was working on his doctorate, fortunately was hired at UWEC's history department. When I came here, I didn't have a college degree. It wasn't that I hadn't planned to continue my education after marriage. But as many of us learn, life doesn't always happen according to script. I like to think of the quote from the classic 1994 Forrest Gump film I saw years later when I took a class on campus at age 66 by Patty C. It goes, Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. One of those, let's say, surprises of not knowing what you're going to get occurred when I was a young mother and grad student wife in the 60s who simply wanted to enroll in a class at Rutgers, the State University of New York. I will never forget the blow experienced when the person on the other end of the phone said, I was not allowed, and informed me that only males could attend the undergraduate day school. As a result, that's true. As a result, I began my long trek to advance my education by going to night school. At the time, little did I realize that life's journey would bring me to Wisconsin, where I was aware of its outstanding reputation in education and environmental concerns.
Woo!
It took discovering that the UW education system budget would be slashed by $300 million that caused yet another awareness. And this one was at a more personal level, because it is here in Wisconsin I owed a huge debt, and I don't mean financially. It was one of gratitude for all the continuous support and encouragement I received throughout my 4 decades of being a student on campus, while juggling many roles and sometimes working part-time and full-time, off and on in various fields. It would have been nice to say I worked because I wanted to, but mainly it was out of necessity, at first to help my family survive, and later to divorce from myself. Once again, the UW system was there for me, not only on this campus, but UW-Madison's, where I spent 6 summers at Madison taking classes on Southeast Asia from my new career in my 60s as a teacher of students of other languages. It was public education that not only opened doors, but new worlds, and that offered opportunity. This is one of the reasons I agreed to speak here today. It's because I would like Governor Walker to hear my message and understand some of us will continue to follow and live by Wisconsin's mission statement that means to search for the truth. Furthermore, I will fight for the ideal because I know that, as my dad taught me, no one can ever take away your education.